Hello and welcome to The Finish Line, where we discuss what draws student athletes to track and field and what they love about the sport. I'm your host, Coach Thomas, and I'm joined here by our guest, exceptional track athlete and team captain, Reagan Smith. So Reagan, tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey on the Warwick Valley track and field team.
Well, hi, I'm Reagan. Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
I'm a senior on the track team, and I've been part of the team since 8th grade, and I've fallen more and more in love with the sport since then. I'm a big leader on the team. I'm trying to bring up the younger girls. We're a very young team, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Awesome. And so what initially attracted you even to the sport of track and field and, to the Warwick track team?
That's an easy one. I mean, I have two older sisters that were big assets on the track team when they were in high school. And when I was younger, I would watch them, and I think that 100% sparked my interest in seeing how happy and how much fun they had on the track. Once I started, I fell in love the same way.
Tell me a little about the fun of when you first were able to get on the team, and were any of your sisters still on the team when you started?
Yeah, well, I was in 8th grade, my sister was a sophomore, and I wasn't a big asset on the track team yet, let's say that, but as I got older and we started to go on the same relay teams and we had some school records together, and I wish she was still on the team with me because that was the most fun I've ever had, and it was just a big opportunity to be able to race with a sister.
Yeah, I mean, that's an incredible opportunity. I think anybody coming from, a family, especially a sports family, when they have those chances, that's just memory-making stuff there. So I'm really glad that you were able to make those memories. But I want to dive a little bit into what was your first event, your first big breakthrough event on the team, and how did that evolve from there? Because it's just, from a coaching perspective, it's just so funny to see that trajectory. So
Right. So I was an average runner, middle school and freshman year, and then during outdoor, I just had one race. I would say I did the 400, and if you don't know what the 400 is, it's brutal. And I kind of just raced it like I've never raced it before and realized how fast I was. And then after that, I was on a runner's high, and I was like, wow, this is what it feels like to actually be proud of yourself. And then I just got faster and faster, got on more relay teams, went to nationals, and from there it just kept going.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. And so I guess, how do you think the sport has helped you improve as an individual on and off the mondo?
Well, I think the easy answer would be that it's taught me teamwork, but it's so much more than that. Track and field is such a mental sport, and it's all about discipline, perseverance, and hard work. And you really have to push yourself to the limits every single day. On the track, you have to learn how to push yourself through pain. And I think over the 5 years that I've done this, I've really mastered how to just push myself even past that limit and enjoy the pain. It's a process that I have to enjoy. So it's taught me so much about determination and hard work and pushing myself past the limit and wanting to do more with it.
Is there anything that you could kind of think to that attributed to, from a mental perspective, your ability to kind of switch that mindset and kind of push through those moments?
Yeah, it definitely took a lot of time to master that mental side of it, because you can be as fast as you want, but if you're not in it mentally, you're not going to win or be as good as you can be. So I think through time and honestly losing races has helped me push past this mental barrier. And even now I go through a lot of mental breaks where I am just not believing myself. But once you believe in yourself, anything's possible.
I think I know what you're going to say about this next question, but what was your most memorable race? Not one that you won, but one where you learned the most from.
Well, I recently had a breakthrough race in the 600, and I had a 2-second PR. I beat girls that I've never beaten before, and by 0.01 seconds, by the way. And I was never more proud of myself. And then 5 minutes later, I got disqualified. And I was very upset about it, but the day after, I realized I could do it. I think that race just proved so much that once you get past that mental barrier, you can do anything. And I realized, I proved to myself that I could do it. It was possible for me to do it. Even if it didn't count, I still could do it, because then the week after that, I went out there and I did it again, but faster.
Yeah, and I think that's a great way to frame that. There's sometimes, I think a lot of people think about the sport of track and field and maybe see it as very black and white, like you either are going to get the time or you don't get the time. And for the most part, that's true. But then moments like this come up where it's really up to somebody's perspective, that really it was a matter of perspective. And I wish that we could show the audience at home what the disqualifying factor was. We're talking about a fraction of her foot passing over a cone in a moment of the race where she legally was allowed to cut in to the first lane. And the lane official, the judge, looked at it, and from their perspective, they felt like she had just crossed over this little tiny cone too much, and a whole race is nullified. But to her credit, that was the fire that helped Reagan achieve the next level of greatness. So that brings me to then, what achievements in track are you the most proud of, and why?
Anytime I can go to state and national is a big achievement, but I think the biggest moment is being able to bring a relay team, because the girls are so young, and I was brought as a freshman, as a sophomore, with the help of seniors, obviously.
Yes.
And having the opportunity to give them that same chance that I had, and running a relay team at a big meet like that would be like the most insane achievement. I mean, obviously I have a lot of individual achievements as well, but I don't think anything means as more to me than doing it with the people that I love.
I absolutely agree with you. As a coach, I see the relay team as really the heart and soul of track events, and being able to really show people that it is a team sport. So in that vein, we have a couple of items here that I think are indicative of some of your achievements. Could you maybe lift up a couple of these and tell us what we're looking at here, and how you achieve these?
Right.
awards?
So this is my first ever states medal, and we got 6th in the state in the 4x4. And like I said, track's not an individual sport. I could not have got this medal alone. And we had a team PR, and the reason we got this medal was truly just because we believed in ourselves, and we knew we could do it. And then our next one would be, it's a big one.
That's a big one.
It's a big one. This is our nationals medal. We got 2nd in the nation with our mixed 4x4, which is 2 girls and 2 boys. And once again, we didn't know where we would stand. We hoped that we would medal. Did not think we were going to get 2nd, but I mean, proud of ourselves.
And hold on to that one for just a second, because the wildest part about this medal is we make it all the way to the national stage, right? You got teams from all around the country, right? And we have an opportunity to become national champions, and we lose by half a second to who? Any team in the country would have been all right. We lose to Minisink. We lose to Minisink, right? Our rival schools, our neighbors. You travel all around the country just to lose to the people right next door to you.
I know.
So that was
good for Section 9, though.
Yeah, great for Section 9. A testament to how strong Section 9 is competitively. All right, and then the last one.
This last one would be, this is my individual medal. This is not a relay. I got the 600 at states. Sections. And I got 3rd. I was upset. I wanted to win. But it just put me to working harder and qualify for states and nationals and more.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing those with us. And so where do you see your investments in your athletic talents taking you in the future? What's the next step for Reagan Smith, track and field athlete?
All right. Well, my first step is to enjoy senior year. And I want to live in the moment, leave it all out there on the track. And then after I graduate, I'm going to be running D1 somewhere. I don't know yet. But I'll figure it out in the next week or two, probably be committed. But I'm excited to see where that takes me, and hopefully I won't lose love for the sport. I don't see that happening. And I could just take whatever I've learned here and just bring it further. And wherever I end up, hopefully it'll be the place for me.
Awesome. And I'm sure it will be. Somebody with great head on their shoulders, who has learned so much, on and off the track. I know that you will make a great decision in that regard. So very excited to see the future for you. And so kind of jumping a little further ahead, how has your experience with track and field shaped your professional pursuits in the future? Have you started to think about, taking some of the lessons that you've learned here in the sport and kind of looking beyond to potential careers?
Right. So I think the stuff that you learn on the track you can use for the rest of your life. Like I said, like teamwork, communication, but it's so much more than that. It's about determination and working hard. And I think when you run track, you realize how hard you have to work because you have to want it. It doesn't just come naturally. You have to go out there on a rainy day and run. You have to do the ab workout even if you don't want to. And I never want to. So, but it's not just handed to you. And I think when I go to college and when I graduate and when I get a career in the future, I'm going to be using all of that and pushing myself to be the best version of myself I can be, whether that's on the track or whether that's off the track. And yeah, I think just seeing what I can take from the track and using it in the future would be the best.
Wise words, and thank you for that. And so with that, we've gained an understanding of what fuels Reagan's passion for the sport and how she plans to carry it forward in life. Reagan Smith, folks, thank you so much. Big thank you for coming into the studio today, for sharing your journey, sharing your story, and that will do it for this episode. I'm your host, Kirk Thomas. Thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you across the finish line.